Hi, everyone. Okay, with lesson 54, there are 5 lessons that are reviewed, and they really have to do with the power that you have. You have a great deal of power to create the world that you see. You have a great deal of power to interpret how you see it. So the idea that there might be neutral thoughts does not exist within A Course in Miracles. There are no neutral thoughts. There's no neutrality in what you see either, because it's all infused with a meaning that you give, and that meaning has power because it influences how you think, feel, and react in the world in which you live. So it starts off with, I have no neutral thoughts. So there are no neutral thoughts. All thoughts are infused with power given the meaning that you ascribe to them. The next lesson is, I see no neutral things. So if you don't have any neutral thoughts, then of course what you see is not neutral either. The power that lies in it is determined by the judgments that you have. So it's the perception that you choose to have that determines what they mean, and therefore there is no neutrality in them. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. Everything is shared. Everything is shared. We live in a shared reality. All minds are joined. And so you are never alone. There is a false perception that you are separate from all that is. You are not. That is a big shift. The idea of a miracle is a shift in perception, from fear to love, from separation to union. And so if you decide to shift the way you see the world by realizing that everything that happens to you has an influence in the world that you see, and vice versa, the shared reality influences you, then you realize that you are never alone. In a more metaphysical or mystical sense, the fact that you are not alone is because you have never left heaven. You are always with God. You are not separate from the divine. So you are not alone in experiencing the world that you see either. The next one is, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. So beyond what it is that you see, also the effects of your thoughts are not something that you live with alone. There are no private thoughts. There is an appearance of privacy in our thoughts, but all thought is energy. All matter is energy. Everything that we experience has a unifying field associated. And so you are not alone in experiencing the effects of your thoughts, which is then what's projected out into your world. And finally, I am determined to see with true vision, to see things as they truly are in their very nature versus how you have made them to be, given your perception, given your interpretation of what it is that you see. So you realize that the ego has a certain way of seeing, and it either brings you closer to love or it doesn't. If it comes from the ego, it's impermanent. It's not something that is constant, because only that which comes from spirit is eternal. So you are determined to shift your perception from that of the ego to that of true vision, true reality. It is an act of the will. It is your choice. But it requires willingness and determination to see. So you make that decision that what I see is not necessarily what is true. And therefore, I am determined to see what is true. That's lesson 54, and we'll see you tomorrow for lesson 55. Thanks.